All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 742 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. Let's get some house cleaning done first. I want to let you guys know that the podcast will be allocated in different areas. So for the ones who listen to this show or this podcast on YouTube, it will be under YouTube podcast under the audio format. If you want to watch the visual podcast, I will have that up on Rumble. So you can listen, you can watch and listen to it on Rumble. If I want you guys, if you don't mind, to go over there and follow or subscribe to me over there on Rumble. The link will be down in the description. You can check all of that out as well, as you want to follow me over there on Rumble if you want to watch the podcast. The podcast will still be on Google Podcasts until April of 2024. So you got a couple of months left for that. So YouTube is merging over to, they're changing over from Google Podcasts to YouTube Podcast. So, but it's going to be a few more months. So the podcast will still be over there. And also it's always going to be on Spotify and Apple. So the audio side of things is going to be on YouTube. And I don't want to put the visuals up there as well, because it may mess up with the algorithm, having both up at the same time. It's weird. I don't know how that plays out. I don't really want to risk it. I'm just going to put it up on the visual side up on Rumble. So Apple and Spotify is still the same. So hopefully you guys will check that out. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, like I said. I'm also on Spotify and Apple, Google Podcasts, and the YouTube podcast will be up as well. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter or X at VF Baller, and the website is firstandframerates.com. If you want to support the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. That goes a long way. I want to thank you guys for all the feedback with the videos that I've been putting up throughout the day. You guys have been amazing. The YouTube channel is growing like crazy. I cannot thank you guys enough. Let's get straight into this. Is Bill Belichick really Arthur Blank's pick? I'm not really sure about that. And I'm going to tell you why. The Rooney Rule has been fulfilled. I mean, we've interviewed 3 minority head coaches, and Belichick is not necessarily the guy that's already the coach by now. Because if he really wanted to be the coach, I would think personally that Arthur Blank would have him already coaching and get everything set up, and he can go ahead and get ready to run the show. That's quick in a nutshell. Now, if you want my long answer, there's a lot of candidates out here that we've talked about before that are really good. And I think Arthur Blank is going to be really careful about this. I mean, you just never know. I could be saying this right now, but, Belichick could be the coach as I speak. I mean, because, just how things work, how the news is. But I think with all of the guys that he's, actually interviewing, I think these guys are, long term. And I know this is a big deal with Arthur Blank because I don't think he's really looking long term. So you got a lot of these guys are long term answers, because a lot of these guys are young. A lot of these guys are ready to go. A lot of these guys are well qualified in my eyes. But with Belichick, that kind of says that you're trying to win now. And I'm not sure if you do win now with Belichick, but that's the way he may feel. I like the pool of candidates that are out here, and I think we're going to be in good hands. I already had my pick on a couple of people that I don't want to as the coach. Like I said, Belichick is one of them. Raheem Morris is another one. The rest of them I can live with. I'm not too keen on Aaron Glenn, but I do believe that one of these guys are probably going to end up the head coach. I just did a video recently about Antonio Pierce. Me personally, that's going to be my pick out of all of these guys. You can't go wrong with most of them, but if I really had to choose, it would be Antonio Pierce. Now, initially, I wanted Harbaugh or what's the kid that used to be with the Dolphins? I can't remember his name that quick. Brian Flores. I would like to have one of those two, but apparently he's not necessarily. Neither one are going to be available. The Harbaugh is probably going to go to the West Coast, and Brian Flores is probably going to stay put. But with all of these candidates, I think we're up to like 9 or 10 guys that we are looking at. These are not bad. These are not bad looks. Not bad looks at all for the most part. But I think I'm starting to lean towards that he may not be Arthur Blank pick, but like I said, I could be wrong. With him being on that yacht, reportedly he's supposed to be on that yacht. That speaks a lot of volumes. You never know. What could they be talking about? I mean, if you're doing like who's doing the interviews, if he's on the yacht with Arthur Blank, that's a real question. Like, and if he's on a yacht with Arthur Blank, what are these other coaches? Why are they going for the to the interviews for? Why are they having the interviews even if they hear about the report that, well, the owner is on a yacht with my competition as far as jobs go, why would I go interview? You know what I mean? So it's a little bit, it's a little bit sketchy about how things are. I think that if he was to pick, I think by now, they would have, had him in already. You got to understand, like with these coaches, Anthony Reaver, he was interviewed Sunday. Avero, I think that's his name, Ejiro Avero. He was interviewed on Sunday. Steve Wilkes was interviewed Saturday. Callahan was interviewed Saturday. Mike McDonald was interviewed on Friday. And you had all these other guys who was already, interviewed. And not to try to sound cynical or anything, but these guys they already fulfilled the Rooney Rule. So if they really wanted, Bill Belichick, like, okay, this what it is, and where's Arthur Smith's yacht? Is it close to Atlanta or is it like in Florida? Or what? I mean, it's just a lot of questions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I will be not happy about it, but I guess I'll go along with it if he's the coach. I mean, this is my team, so I'm going to follow them. But I'm not going to like the pick. I know I'm not going to like what's going on here. I'd rather them to get a younger coach with a younger quarterback, and you rock out like that. You see how well it's going for these other teams, and the Falcons they should be right there along with them. If basically if Desmond Ridder plays well, we could have been right in the playoffs and no telling what could happen. You just saw Dallas lose. That could have been us. Or, that we could have been Tampa Bay getting ready, not I ain't saying get ready, but you could be Tampa Bay hosting the Eagles. And the Eagles look a mess right now. So you just never know once you get in the playoffs. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? But it's just, you just never know. So you want to be in that position where not only that you make the playoffs, that you can make something work in the longevity of things. Because I think, as bad as Arthur Blank wants to win, I don't want this to blind him thinking that Belichick is the surefire, thing, because the last 3 or 4 years, Coach Belichick didn't look anything close to being surefire. As far as I'm concerned, even with all the history, what have you done for me lately? And what have you done for me lately is no different from what the candidates that we have now. If not, you can make a case that it's actually worse. So to me, I'm looking at it like, is it really the guy you want to go with? Is it really the guy you want to go with? Because I just don't. I don't think it's wise, to be honest. I just don't. I think you'd be better off just going in and just getting somebody young for the longevity of things. Owner Arthur Blank, just don't have. I guess he feel like the time is ticking and he wants to win right away, and maybe that's going to cloud his judgment. And maybe that's what it is. I'm not a fan of it, but look like that's the way it's going. And for all intents and purposes, I mean, if you're a real Falcons fan, you can express your concern, and you can dislike what's going on, but you're going to root for the team no matter what, because those players on the field is not necessarily a reflection of what the owner does. I mean, we saw that in various situations in the past 10 to 15 years. So the Blank, owner Blank may want to go this route. I mean, we don't have to patronize the team if we dislike it, but at the same time, I don't want to see, this young group of guys that's wearing these uniforms out there on the field, their years to be wasted because of, not bad, not good, not good leadership. It's really disheartening to see that, and to see it in real time is even worse. But we'll see. maybe by the time you see this, maybe by the time, all this goes down, it'll be a different story. So we'll get into that at that time. So if you like this commentary, the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know if you agree. Do you think he's really going to be the pick? If not, let me know what you guys think. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Like I said, the YouTube side of things will be on the audio format. The actual podcast visual side will be on Rumble. I will be having that distributed out so you guys can check it out, and you can listen to the show at your leisure on any of the podcast avenues. If you want to support the show, PayPal and Cash App links are below. Websites firstandframerace.com, and don't forget to follow me on X at VFBaller. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.